Today, I am traveling to be a guest on a podcast, and I'm running late. Please start. Oh no, not the time. Get this fucking van moving. There's a comedian in Northern Ireland called Sean Haggerty, right? I've got to know Sean over the last few years. I did some stuff with him at the Power Video event years ago. He has his own podcast, the Sean Haggerty Show, and he messaged me and he was like, Dill, I'm running short on guests. Do you want to come and be a guest? That's not what he said. He's like, Dill, you're a legend. Do you want to be do you want to be on the thing? That's also not what he said, but he did say, do you want to come be in a podcast? So that is exactly, where are we? That is what we're doing today. So nestled away in this little garage shed is Sean's podcast studio. You know, I love these things. Everyone's got their own way of doing stuff. That's him keeping the heat in. The coal fire here. It's like a little cabin in the woods, this place.
I know. I
like the cable management. This is like everything in my studio is exactly the same. I've got shit duct taped to stuff and I'm like, the thing is, you do something like that temporarily and you go, I'll just hang that cable there, and then 6 months later someone's like, is that where the cable is? You're like, yeah, just run it over this strategic beam here at the top. I know. It's nice. Do us a favour, give me a quick breakdown. What's the podcast about in general?
Basically, it's me with my, I'm going to call them friends, so me and you are officially friends now, so new friend. It's just, I get 2 guests down a week and we just press record, and it's almost like fly on the wall. So if you're tuning in, you're not getting anything scripted, you're not getting anything where people are almost like watching going, oh, these guys have bullet points that they're ticking through. We're literally just pressing record, anything goes.
I got to know you from the Power Video event where we last minute ran out, something happened and we needed someone to present, and then the guys got in contact with you and you came down to a smashing job at that show.
Ulster Hall, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We got you up on stage too. You were one of the interviewees.
I think we were both filling gaps that day.
Yeah. That was brilliant though. That was a good time. And did you not come away from that just feeling so inspired? Yeah.
And it was probably one of the first times I had been on a stage like that.
Right.
So it was fucking intimidating as hell walking out onto it, especially walking out and you're looking going like, why am I doing this?
The Ulster Hall too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so prestigious, but it was amazing. I came out of it, and for 3 or 4 days, my like Instagram reels and stuff were shit hot. Everything was like, me spinning everything round and stuff. And then a couple of days later, and I'd lost all that inspiration, and I was like, I'm just going to upload a photo that I had from 6 months ago that I'd changed in Lightroom, or fucked about with. But that was so inspiring, that whole sort of 2-day event. People that had up on stage as well were brilliant from all around the world.
Yeah.
People who had gone viral 1,000,000 times over. And I'd since seen people like that on my channel, on YouTube, the recommended kind of stuff that comes up.
Yeah.
And like 6 months, a year later, and I'm like, I actually interviewed that guy on stage, and he's got like fucking 60 million views because he's put a lift in his house.
And he's unfollowed you on Instagram.
100%. Yeah. The day he got back, he's just like,
Sean's over here, host, and Conor Keys, 2 very funny men, and me, filling the gap. But it's fun. Once you... So is this a fake tree with real dirt behind me here?
yeah.
That's good. That'll keep the pleather leaves. I like that little touch.
Basically my garden out there, but I just brought it in here for the winter because the weather was bad, and then I thought, I could actually use this.
I see that. Yeah. It's supposed to be all weather furniture here, and you've got it indoors. Sean's just foodering. That's what you get for using a PC there.
Yeah.
So what do we got there at the bottom? What is the setup at the bottom?
This is the audio box.
Audio box. Yeah, official, I like that. It's cable central down the bottom. We're running this into 3 vocal mics. Recording on a Samsung Galaxy S. Is that what that is?
I think so. Yeah, it's quite new.
Yeah, I like it. 45 lenses. Good set of headphones.
Yeah.
Sennheiser, I like it. Family portrait in the background.
Yeah.
class. Looks good. Looks the part.
I'm checking my pockets. I have stuff in here too.
What shoes are we wearing? This is what it's like being in the driver's seat over here. I'm just killing time here while he's faffing around with buttons. I think if you've ever tried to record a podcast your own and you're doing it yourself, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm right in saying it doesn't matter how many times you set it up, get it ready. As soon as people arrive, it all switches off and nothing works properly.
To go in, they came like 20 minutes early, and I was still 20 minutes left of setting up to do. So by the time I was talking to them and making coffee and doing other things, it took about an hour after before we actually got started.
That's okay. You don't mind it when you're getting paid to be here.
Well, that's it. It's just my invoice is going to be more than I thought because the time is supposed to be allocated. But
Dale, have you ever recorded on Adobe Audition?
Yes, I have. The old... It's a great setup. His only thing letting him down is his cable from the 1900s.
I know. And that audio box is about 15 years old.
mobile number to all the wingnuts listen to our thing.
1, 2, 4.
Yeah, so, yes, you... But you're right there with the, like, I've done a little bit of camping stuff up in the mornings, and I remember the first time you just opened the zip of the tent. Yeah. And there was a sheep standing there. And like, you walk past a sheep at the farm and you're like this, no, it's a sheep. You have a sheep with no fence between you.
Oh, that's a fucking ride.
Yeah.
That's a wake up call in the morning, I tell you.
Were you into conspiracy stuff before the last couple of years?
Oh yeah.
So you've always
basically when I lost my house in the 2008 crash.
didn't believe it.
No, I believed it. No, I very much fucking believed it.
Just sitting there in an imaginary living room.
Eviction is quite a reality.
That got very, very deep. Thank you very much for having me on the podcast. I appreciate it.
See you soon.
And I'll chat soon, dude. The van is falling apart. That door has lost its hinge bracket on the back. I've never replaced it. And then it got blown off one day by the wind. And I'm just a fucking procrastinator, to be honest. And in the back door, this fell off it the other day. You might be asking yourself, what in the Bojangles is that? Because that's what I was. It fell out and I was like, what the fuck is that? It's some sort of wheel that sits on the door so that it rolls. So currently it doesn't roll, it just drags across the other metal. So that door's out of action for the time being until I can be bothered fixing it. So I feel like I spent half my life filling up the van with fuel. I got the van and the car. Now generally my wife fills the car up, but it does feel diesel as well. So the Sean Haggerty podcast. I'll put some links below if you want to go check it out and take a look. You might know him. He's got a bunch of skits and stuff he does on his Instagram page as well, and he does loads of stand-up. Conor Keys as well, his podcast Deck, Chair and Yums is like heavily conspiracy driven stuff. It's good as well. Sometimes it can be a bit much. I can only take on so much conspiracy stuff in one go. So worth going and checking that out and having a listen to that as well. I'll put links to both of those guys. Do check out their live shows and give the guys some support, because we have a great comedy scene in Northern Ireland and all they need is support. Fuck, I went over. Go up 5. £85. Fucking hell. When I learned to drive, fuel was it was like 89p a litre. Now it's like £1.89. So £85. How much is that going to be? I mean, from a gauge point of view, I know it's going to be 85 quid. So like 3/4. It went from empty to 3/4 for £85. Fucking hell. Oh, just like that, back where we started. Thanks for watching. Go check out Sean's podcast. Catch you in the next one.